I want us to look today in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 20 and 21. In this particular passage of scripture, it talks about that there is gold and silver vessels. Not only gold and silver, it says that there are wood and clay vessels also. But it also says there's vessels of honor and vessels of dishonor. Now, if we look at the vessels that are labeled gold and silver and the vessels that are wood and clay, this is what God brought to my attention. These particular vessels were labeled. As we look at this in today's society, as we begin to put something on a container, which is a vessel, maybe like this bottle. This bottle is a container. This bottle is a vessel, and it also holds a label that is on this bottle. Whatever is on this label describes what is on the inside of the container, describes what is on the inside of that vessel. That's all that vessel will ever be if it is labeled. Now I want us to look at a vessel of honor. A vessel of honor, I believe that the Lord is talking about, is a vessel that can be moved, can be transported from one place to the other. This vessel can be filled. It can be used where it's needed. This is what we are to be as a child of God. We are to be a vessel that is filled. We're to be a vessel that is positioned and placed where God needs us along this journey of life, for someone is waiting on us. It's like the honey in the rock. I want us to look at the life of Moses, and maybe this will help you understand a little bit more. We can look at Moses as a vessel. First, let's look at Moses, where he was moved and he was positioned. One time when Moses was a vessel of honor, he was placed at the foot of a rock. God had him there for a reason. He was placed at a rock, and maybe you feel like you have someone in your life that's a rock. You have someone that won't move like this rock. You maybe have someone that has no fruit in it like this rock, okay? Moses stood at this rock as a vessel of honor. He spoke and he struck that rock, and what happened? Life-giving water began to come forth. He was used as a vessel. He was used as a willing vessel. Let's look at Moses again. He stood in the presence of Pharaoh. As he stood in the presence of Pharaoh, Pharaoh was now an enemy. Pharaoh once celebrated Moses. Pharaoh once welcomed Moses into his home. But now he's standing there fighting for his people. He is a willing vessel that is fighting for his people. We need people today to stand in and fight for God's people. Fight for your family. Fight for the ones that mean something to you. Fight for the ones that in your circle where God has placed you. Let's look one more time. Look at Moses as he stood in the middle of the children of Israel. As he began to stand in the middle of the children of Israel, we could say Moses was a mediator. He was guiding the children of Israel. He stood in between what was God and children of Israel, and he was leading them. He was guiding them. He was a messenger of God is what he was. He was a vessel that was willing to be used. We begin to look at many vessels. We begin to look at our life and say, God, what are we? Can I tell you, it's not the beauty of the vessel. It's the availability of the vessel. That's what God is looking for. God is looking for people to be mediators. He's looking for people to stand in and intercede. He's looking for vessels that will fight for his people, that will stand up for right and wrong. God knows where you are. He knows what you're dealing with in life. You're more than just a label. You're a vessel that's worth filling. And I can tell you today, God's been looking for you. Come on, say it with me. Let's go. Let's go, Jesus. Let's go. You're more. You're a vessel that's worth filling. And the people that God surrounded you with, they're worth fighting for. God bless.